Alright. So, my live was cut short because of the fact that the Stanley Parable put me into the Stanley Parable 2. I walked through it, and now it has me on this, and I'm going to play it with you guys. It literally kicked me out. I kid you not. It kicked me out of my game. My game crashed, actually. So I had to boot it up again. Not fun, but hey.
This is the story of a man named Stanley.
Oh boy, here
Stanley
we go.
worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-winning, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy.
That's a lie.
And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived.
Yeah, I already know what happens. I've seen it before.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps
I
he had
missed that
simply
one,
missed a
I
memo.
guess.
Stanley lifted the bucket into his arms, and a wave of comfort rushed over him. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left. Oh, Stanley, can you feel it? The broom closet. Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office. Another miniature Stanley figurine.
I knew it.
You know, there really must be a snappier name for these things. What about mini-stands? Stanley figs? What about Stanlerines? Yes, I think I like that. Another
I like mini
Stanlerine
stands.
under your belt.
I like mini stands.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Crushed, but Stanley guessed the correct code by sheer luck. Was it that the bucket knew all along? Was the bucket guiding him? Yes, this is certainly the most logical explanation. Okay, I'm going back to the name of these little Stanley figurines, and now I'm torn between Stanlerines and Figlies. What do you think, Stanley? What name better encapsulates the intrinsic sense of happiness that you get from seeing a small number in the corner of your screen go up by one?
The mini stands.
I'm
Mini
sure it will
stands.
come to me.
Mini stands, please. I like the idea of mini stands. Man, I can't tell if this is sad or not. This is a very
The elevator raced
Bro,
downward,
this game is
plummeting
so long.
towards an unknown fate. It would be all Stanley could do to keep himself together, if not for the bucket. Soothing him, comforting him, reassuring that in this darkest moment of uncertainty, he would be all right. The bucket is here for you, Stanley. Everything will be fine. Stanley and the bucket walked straight ahead through the large door that read, Mind Control. Although this passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley and the bucket would both meet a violent death.
Okay.
The door behind them was not shut. Stanley and the bucket still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track.
Can I put down this bucket?
At
I don't
point,
like this
Stanley
bucket.
and the bucket were knowingly walking forward into a very painful death for each of them.
W. And I'm so tired, I can't wait to finish this game.
As the machine whirred into motion and Stanley and the bucket inched closer to their demise, Stanley reflected on how meaningless the bucket's warmth and comfort had turned out to be. To be sure, it puts the mind and the soul at ease to embrace the bucket, but what use is a sense of ease when you're about to be crushed to death? This is what Stanley thought to himself, and he sort of kicked himself for wasting so much time carrying a bucket everywhere. Farewell, Stanley.
Farewell, Stanley, cried the narrator, as Stanley and the bucket were led helplessly into the enormous metal jaws. In a single visceral instant, the bucket's life came to an end as it was crushed violently to death. It was a shame, the death of such a magnificent bucket. It's true that all buckets are radiant in their own way, but
Freedom.
this one stood above the rest. It was a glorious bucket to behold.
Oh, the bucket saved my life.
Can you see how arrogant it was for Stanley to take a bucket like this and to claim it for his own? Can you see the hubris that blinded him? Can you see that the bucket is far more noble than Stanley will ever be in his short life? No man can own a bucket, and certainly not a bucket as dazzling to behold as this one. It is man who should kneel before the bucket.
That's crazy.
But there is something we can do. Something we can do together, you and I, that will right this terrible wrong. Let Stanley die. Let him be crushed by the machine. Don't reset the game. Don't give him another opportunity to run off with another beautiful bucket. We can save the world's buckets from their treatment as tools and implements if only we let Stanley die together. The bucket should take its place as ruler, as leader, as commander of a new world, a new vision for...
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. Stanley went around touching. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
No way.
At first, Stanley assumed he'd broken the map until he heard this narration and realized it was part of the game's design all along.
Oh, shut
He
up.
then praised the game for its insightful and witty commentary into the
Thank
nature
you.
of video game structure and its examination of structural narrative tropes.
Yes.
So, now that you're here, what do you think? Isn't this a fun and unique place to be?
Yes.
Why don't we take a minute just to drink it all in? Okay, I'm over it now. What do you think? Are you sick of this gag yet?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know how to say this politely, but you could literally just restart the game any old time you want. Like, right now.
No, I don't
You
wanna.
could have done it just then. Now would also be an appropriate time to quit.
Yep.
Any of these points and so many, many more, all of them are appropriate. I'm enjoying what seems to be an internal conflict going on where you are literally unable to act on your own desires to restart the game. So, just to push the envelope, I'm going to try and make this as miserable as possible and see how long you can maintain. There once was a man named Stanley, who people considered so manly. But the truth must be told, he was not very old and was quite particularly gangly. What Stanley liked most was buttons. He pushed them like some kind of glutton. He did it all day in a meaningful way, but his brain had long ceased to function. Which is why he is in this parable and lives an existence quite terrible. And if you are not strong and keep playing along, you too will become quite unbearable. You too will become quite unbearable.
That's not too bad. What do you guys think? Anyway, I'm waiting still. I'm not resetting. You're a mean narrator. You're a mean man. You're a very mean guy. Making me load the game for you. You're normally the guy who reloads the game.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
No more bucket. Okay. We're done. Whoa. Whoa. Whoa, 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 whoa. What's the next one? Let me turn my sensitivity down. Please. Because now I need to turn it back up.
No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers. Stanley went around touching every little thing in the office, but it didn't make a single difference, nor did it advance the story in any way.
What's with that? No, I'm figuring this out. I do not care. Nah, I'm interested. What's this? In here? How do I get in there? There's no way for me to get in there and then somehow come out here magically. Like, I don't know. I need to finish this. Like, I got one down. That means I can get more. We'll figure it out later.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Wait.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
No. Don't buy it.
Yes, truly a room worth admiring. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
No, I didn't. Wait. No.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago. Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in... But in his eagerness to prove that he is in control of the story and no one gets to tell him what to do, Stanley leapt from the platform and plunged to his death. Good job, Stanley. Everyone thinks you are very powerful.
No, but like, how do I get down there without dying? That's my problem. I want to get down there without dying, because there's an open garage door. And I want to be able to go through it. Is that so wrong? Should have thought of that, game developer. I'm joking, I'm not going to bash you like other people do.
What could it mean?
Those
Stanley
bad
decided
reviews
to go
on
to
Yelp.
the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
What was it? Something gas? I forget what it's called. It was something gas. Who's this computer? Now it's this one. Yo! I'm doing it. Slowly. But surely.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors,
Nope.
this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Wow, yes, this room. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Nope. Just have an idea.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
I'm picking up that phone, man.
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot.
See, look.
Here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time.
No, I need to go back.
Someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. Please, stop trying to make every decision by yourself. Now, I'm not asking for me, I'm asking for her. This is it, Stanley. Your chance to redeem yourself. To put your work aside. To let her back into your life. She's been waiting. That's her, Stanley. You...
Last time I unplugged it. This time I'm not. So far this is going well for Stanley Parable 2. It's not to go in order.
Stanley, is that you? Hold on, sweetie. Sorry to keep you waiting. I'm just pulling the bread out of the oven. All right.
Let me run away.
Okay, there we go.
Let me run away.
All right, now, I want you to come in and tell me all about your day.
Gotcha. Oh, come on. Did you actually think you had a loving wife who'd want to commit their life to you? I'm trying to make a point here, Stanley. I'm trying to get you to see something.
That's
Come
depressing.
Inside. Let me show you what's really going on here.
I don't even want to go in there. That's so... No, I'm leaving.
Sorry, but you're in my story now.
Wow. Wow. Wow.
This is a very sad story about the death of a man named Stanley.
Huh?
Stanley is quite a boring fellow. He has a job that demands nothing of him, and every button that he pushes is a reminder of the inconsequential nature of his existence. Look at him there, pushing buttons, doing exactly what he's told to do. Now he's pushing a button. Now he's eating lunch. Now he's going home. Now he's coming back to work. One might even feel sorry for him, except that he's chosen this life. But in his mind, in his mind he can go on fantastic adventures. From behind his desk, Stanley dreamed of wild expeditions into the unknown, fantastic discoveries of new lands. It was wonderful. And each day that he returned to work was a reminder that none of it would ever happen to him.
This is so depressing.
And so he began to fantasize about his own job. First, he imagined that one day while at work, He stepped up from his desk to realize that all of his co-workers, his boss, everyone in the building had suddenly vanished off the face of the earth. The thought excited him terribly. So he went further. He imagined that he came to 2 open doors and that he could go through either. At last, choice. It barely even mattered what lay behind each door. The mere thought that his decisions would mean something was almost too wonderful to behold. As he wandered through this fantasy world, he began to fill it with many possible paths and destinations. Down one path lay an enormous round room with monitors and mind controls. And down another was a yellow line that weaved in many directions. And down another was a game with a baby. And he called it the Stanley Parable.
Wow.
It was such a wonderful fantasy, and so in his head he relived it again, and then again, and again, over and over, wishing beyond hope that it would never end, that he might always feel this free. Surely there's an answer down some new path, mustn't there be? Perhaps if he played just one more time. But there is no answer. How could there possibly be? In reality, all he's doing is pushing the same buttons he always has. Nothing has changed. The longer he spends
I figured
here,
that
the more
earlier that it was
invested
my
he
room, but
gets, the
I was
more
like,
he
okay, well I'm
forgets
bringing my
which life
office
is
into
the
my room.
real
No,
one.
this is my room, which is my office.
And I'm trying to tell him this, that in this world he can never be anything but an observer, that as long as he remains here, he's slowly killing himself. But he won't listen to me. He won't stop. Here, watch this. Stanley, the next time the screen asks you to push a button, do not do it.
I have to press it, don't I?
You see? Can he just not hear me? How can I tell him in a way that he'll understand that every second he remains here, he's electing to kill himself? How can I get him to see what I see? How can I make him look at himself? I suppose I can't, not in the way I want him to. But I don't make the rules. I simply play to my intended purpose, the same as Stanley. We're not so different, I suppose. I'll try once more to convey all this to him. I'm compelled to. I must. Perhaps, well, maybe this time he'll see. Maybe this time. And I tried again, and Stanley pushed a button. And I tried again, and Stanley pushed a button. And
Wow. That went on longer than I wanted it to. And now I get to go back to that place, because now I realized that there was another ending. And I realized that there is a mini Stan. Whoa, 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 yo, this isn't right.
when Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well.
I know.
Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
Nope.
The lounge was sublime, a work of art. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Determined.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago. You're getting close now, Stanley. You've nearly gotten all of the Figler and Marines. Very soon, you'll collect the last one. And then the first number will equal the second number, and that will be it. We'll be different people by then. Different in the sense that we used to have none of them. And now we have them all. You can't go back to when you had no Figler and Marines. None of us can.
Still a point that I can't drop from. It's too high. Unless... no. There's nothing. And I'm gone. Duncan, come here.
Stanley had now gotten himself so far off the beaten path that it seemed the office had begun. So far off the beaten path that it seemed the office had begun. So far off the beaten path that it seemed the office had begun. So far off the beaten path. You didn't think I was actually just a recording, did you? What a silly and trite explanation that would be. All the back and forth between you and me, all the absurd adventures we've been through, and it all turns out I'm just a tape recording? It was all just in Stanley's head. I bet that's the kind of twist you think is revelatory. I bet each and every time you watch a movie where it turns out all to be in the main character's imagination, you must absolutely bolt off the couch in pure shock at the phenomenal and intricate storytelling. It must be so simple to be you. Life being an unending waterfall of surprises and delights. How much more exciting you must find the world than the rest of us do. Now I've become sad. Look what you've done to me. This is all your fault.
I for real thought bro was a tape for a second. Duncan. Duncan, come here. Come here. Come here, baby. Come here. Lay down. Good boy.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Standing now in this incredible room, Stanley for the first, but eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left. And so he detoured through the maintenance section, walked straight ahead to the opposite door, and got back on track.
I want my regular office back.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
For once. I love how I can choose up. Alright, this is pretty happy. I love this. I don't know what I'm doing. Alright. One more time. Trust. Trust the process. Speaker is somehow coming from right. Literally here. It's not even the center. Anyway, this elevator is not moving. I will say that. It's not moving whatsoever. So I don't really know what that's about. Wait. Alright.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this. What dark secret was being held from him? Stanley was in such a rush to get through the story as quickly as possible, he didn't even have a single minute to just let the narrator talk. That kind of anxiety isn't healthy, so he relaxed for a few moments with some calming new age music.
Yo. That's crazy.
Feeling soothed and rejuvenated, Stanley calmly walked forward into the opened passageway.
Sorry, for a second I thought I saw a button. Not button, a bucket. Bro, buckets. I hate buckets now. Buckets are actually absolutely horrifying me in this game. All they've done to me is... I don't even know anymore. What happens if I go back up? What'll happen? No shot.
Whoops. Nope. Never mind. Stanley actually got back into the elevator and went back up. Silly me. Why did Stanley do that when he knew that it would just lead back to his boss's office? Well, that's a great question. I just can't wait to find out.
I can't wait to find out either.
Here we are, Stanley. It's your boss's office. Exactly the way it was before you got onto the elevator. It's still just exactly what it is. What a decision you've made to come up here and look at the office again. This has fleshed out the plot of the story in new and fascinating ways I could have never anticipated. It's that keen eye for storytelling that you have, an incisive rapid fire of critical plot points, one after the other, weaving a rich tapestry of uncompromising narrative. Wow.
Basically.
I'm bolted to the edge of my seat.
I can't help it. Where's my... Why do I have a crosshair? Oh, do I just have an like infinite crosshair when I'm near this thing? Dude, I'd love to have a crosshair in this game. Instead of me just seeing blank like this. It's kind of annoying sometimes, especially when you know, don't know what you're doing sometimes. Anyway, I'm gonna go back down now.
Incredible. Now he's getting back into the elevator and going down again. Ladies and gentlemen, how does he keep coming up with all of this?
Because I'm a genius. Oh yeah, W. I'm joking. I'm actually not a genius. Never claimed.
Surely this time Stanley will walk forward into the spooky corridor. Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility. Although this passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end but of course, Stanley thought better of it and realized he simply had too much to live for.
Real. Boom.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens.
I might as well walk off again.
What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out?
Nope.
Aha! You've made it to the...
You're just gonna ramble and then you're gonna freaking send me back anyway. So I might as well do it myself. Yay. I'm getting sleep deprived. Oh yeah. Don't you love getting sleep deprived? I love getting sleep deprived. Because then I start going mentally insane. That is not a good thing.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. No matter how hard Stanley went around touching every little thing in the office, but it didn't make a single difference, nor did it advance the story in any way.
I'm getting closer to my goal of turning on that computer fully. I don't know what it's gonna do, but
Stanley
hey.
came to a set of 2 open doors. He entered the door on his left.
You're right. I did. I still have one more thing I have to do after this, though. And I already know what I'm gonna do. How I collect the last one is my question.
Stanley stepped into the broom closet, but there was nothing here, so he turned around and, coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
You know, sometimes I wish you didn't narrate. I hate it. I hate you. I want you to shut up. I swear. I'm going to go mentally insane because of this guy. Yeah, now that's a useless thing that can be open now. Yippee.
Okay, I think we all know the drill by now. Blah, blah, blah. Dark secrets, the keypad. Stanley pushes some buttons. Oh, hey, look, it's a new passageway. Oh, so pretty.
Yo, that is too good. I love that. That's hilarious. Man, this guy really thought of everything. Alright. Let's do this right.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility. The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out? Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
Yo, whoa. I'm tripping.
This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly?
Maybe.
No. He refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it.
Dude, I'm hungry.
His own life in someone else's control? Never. It was unthinkable. wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world?
I'm currently walking around because I'm sick of sitting down. My neck is not feeling well. Alright.
But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy, or sad, or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
Alright, so say I put yes.
Oh, Stanley, you didn't just activate the controls, did you? After they kept you enslaved all these years, you go and you try to take control of the machine for yourself. Is that what you wanted? Control? Oh, Stanley, I applaud your effort, I really do. But you need to understand, there's only so much that machine can do. You were supposed to let it go, turn the controls off, and leave. If you want to throw my story off track, you're going to have to do much better than that. I'm afraid you don't have nearly the power you think you do. For example, and I believe you'll find this pertinent, Stanley suddenly realized he had just initiated the network's emergency detonation system. In the event that this machine is activated without proper DNA identification, nuclear detonators are set to explode, eliminating the entire complex. How long until detonation then? Let's say, 2 minutes. Ah, now this is making things a little more fun, isn't it, Stanley? It's your time to shine. You are the star. It's your story now. Shape it to your heart's desires. Oh, this is much better than what I had in mind. What a shame we have so little time left to enjoy it. Mere moments until the bomb goes off. But what precious moments each one of them is. More time to talk about you, about me, where we're going, what all this means. I barely know where to start. What's that? You'd like to know where your co-workers are? A moment of solace before you're obliterated? All right, I'm in a good mood. You're gonna die anyway. I'll tell you exactly what happened to them. I erased them. I turned off the machine. I set you free. Of course, that was merely in this instance of the story. Sometimes when I tell it, I simply let you sit there in your office forever, pushing buttons endlessly and then dying alone. Other times, I let the office sink into the ground, swallowing everyone inside, or I let it burn to a crisp. I have to say this, though, this version of events has been rather amusing. Watching you try to make sense of everything and take back the control wrested away from you, it's quite rich. I almost hate to see it go. But I'm sure whatever I come up with on the next go-around will be even better. My goodness, only 34 seconds left. But I'm enjoying this so much. You know what? To hell with it. I'm going to put some extra time on the clock. Why not? These are precious additional seconds, Stanley. Time doesn't grow on trees. Oh dear me, what's the matter, Stanley? Is it that you have no idea where you're going or what you're supposed to be doing right now? Or did you just assume when you saw that timer that something in this room was capable of turning it off? I mean, look at you. Running from button to button, screen to screen, clicking on every little thing in this room. These numbered buttons, no, these colored ones. Or maybe this big red button, or this door. Everything, anything, something here will save me. Why would you think that, Stanley? That this video game can be beaten? Won? Solved? Do you have any idea what your purpose in this place is? Stanley, you're in for quite a disappointment. But here's a spoiler for you. That timer isn't a catalyst to keep the action moving along. It's just seconds ticking away to your death. You're only still playing instead of watching a cutscene because I want to watch you for every moment that you're powerless. To see you made humble. This is not a challenge. It's a tragedy. You wanted to control this world, that's fine. But I'm going to destroy it first, so you can't. Take a look at the clock, Stanley. That's 30 seconds you have left to struggle. 30 seconds until a big boom and then nothing. No ending here, just you being blown to pieces. Will you cling desperately to your frail life, or will you let it go peacefully? Another choice. Make it count, or don't. It's all the same to me, all a part of the joke. And believe me, I will be laughing at every second of your inevitable life from the moment we fade in until the moment I say, happily ever.
Is there a way to beat that? I'm actually wondering now. Truly, I am. It looks like there's a way to beat it, but I can't tell. I probably should have ran to the door first, but my first instinct was, oh, numbered buttons. So, my bad. Also,
all of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room.
the end is never the
Perhaps he
end,
had
is
simply
never the
missed a
end, is
memo.
never the end. Yeah, I get it.
No matter how
Shut
hard
up.
Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace
I
of
think
his
not.
co-workers.
Yeah, probably not. Bro, what? All these computers are on now? That is absolutely insane. Oh, lag. Hello. The end is never the end. The end is never the end. The end is never the end. Man, this game's gonna make me go crazy. I had one part of this on this,
When
and it
Stanley
had to
came
be.
to a set of two
Wait,
open
what was I gonna do
doors,
next?
he entered the door on his left.
No, I was gonna enter the right.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well.
Well, I had an idea.
Perhaps he wanted to
so...
stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
Nah.
Stanley felt lightheaded, butterflies in his stomach. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
I'm still looking for the last mini.
And so he
stands.
detoured through the
Okay.
maintenance section,
Well, I didn't mean to
walked
come in
straight
here.
ahead to the opposite door, and got back on track.
Mini stands. I'm gonna find that last mini stand, and I believe it's either in here or I don't know where. I think I have a pretty vague idea of where I think it could be.
But Stanley didn't want to go back to the office. He wanted to wander about and get even further off track. So
Yep.
now in order to get back, he needed to go, from here it's, oh, no, it's to the right, my mistake. No, not the right. Why would I have ever said it was to the right? What was I thinking?
I've literally
It's
memorized
clearly-
this. This is
Oh,
so
dear, would
annoying.
you hold on for a minute, please? Now, let's see. We went down right,
This is
left,
what,
down,
over 3 hours of
left,
playtime on this
right.
game
Yep, okay.
that I've done so
yes.
far.
I've got it now. This story is absolutely, definitely this way.
Yeah, I think so. Which is taking forever. I'm going to lose it. Oh, wait. No, okay. What? Oh, I didn't know that's what that meant. I didn't know that. I just been running around blindly.
No. This isn't right at all.
Blindlessly
You're not
is
supposed to be
crazy.
here
I
yet.
did not
This is
mean to
all
say
a
that.
spoiler. Quick, Stanley, close your eyes. Okay. We just have to get back to.
Well, that's good to know. So now I just
Who am
need to
kidding?
go to the meeting room
It's
now.
rubbish now. The whole story completely unusable. How about, rather than waste my time trying to salvage this nonsense, we'll just restart the game from the beginning. And this time, suppose we don't wander so far off track, Okay, from the top.
Great, and now I can find the last computer that has that key that I have to put in. Because that's what I've been trying to do this whole time. Literally. Wait. I don't like that bright light right there.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Or Stanley's the one that's always left out in every conversation. It could be that too.
When Stanley... Wait, what? No, No, I restarted. I swear I definitely
Oh,
restarted
no.
the...
Alright, no, we're not doing this again. I'm sorry if you wanted to see me do that, but I've been through that again. I already been through that. I don't want to deal with it again. That takes way too long. That part takes way too long to get through. And I hate it. I hate it. I hate it so much.
Already this was uncomfortable, and Stanley decided that as soon as he found a new space he felt safe in, that he would never leave it again in his life.
I have an addiction to turning these off now. It's a problem. It's a genuine problem. Also, I'm never picking up that bucket ever again either. That bucket is freaking nuts. It can stay on its little pedestal. Please, only 2 doors. Yes.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Alright, now where should I go? So left is the meeting room instantly, but right, because I wanted to check out a spot. I wanted to check out this one spot, but I'm not sure if that's where the mini stand will be. But I don't want to, I'm going to waste my time, why not? Let's waste my time. Da, 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 da. Besides, I don't even know how many endings there are in total. How we can find them. Bottom text. Great. Red room. That's it. What about the red room? What? Where is a red room? I would love to know where a red room is, you know? The board and the wall? What? Well, I can't go back, can I? Nah. I'm so
Coming
confused.
to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
I already got that one right there, I can tell you
But
that.
Stanley just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of facing his boss, admitting he had left his post.
Oh, this is the
during
one where
work
it's an
hours.
infinite
He
loop,
might be
isn't it?
fired for that. And in such a competitive economy,
I just
why
messed
had he
myself
taken
up.
that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished.
Oh, I hate this. Why me? Why me? 3 hours. I'm going mental. That's what's going on. I'm going mentally insane. I'm sleep deprived and I'm going mental. That's what's happening here. I'm telling you. Alright. Ooh. I don't know what I did. I can't see. Okay. I'm blinded. What in the emotion is this? If you know what I'm talking about. Oh, my buttons. Oh, yes. I get to push buttons for the rest of my life. This is the best thing in the world. Oh, I love this. I love it. They're lighting back up. I knew it. How do I get out of here? Is he saying what ones? I can't. Oh man. Do I just start over again? Do I just begin? I'm doing it. I am not going to sit in there and try and push every single button in there. That's going to cause me too much misery and pain. I've already gotten mental sleep deprived. I'm not about to go crazy. Going crazy is the next step. I'm not even gonna do it. I'm not even
All
gonna
of his
press it.
co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
My eyes hurt. My eyes are in pain. I can't feel my eyes.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Alright. Meeting room. Board. Ha! Oh my, I know where I'm going. I know where to go. Okay.
Coming to a staircase,
not
Stanley
going down
walked
there again.
upstairs to his boss's office.
I'm not going down there again.
Here's the door, just go.
Thanks. Should I try the bomb thing first? Should I try and like blow up the place? Like try and save it first, or do I just press to turn it off and then get the ending? What should I do? Get the ending or explode the place?
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
That takes too long. I don't like going through that hallway. That hallway takes way too long to go through. I already know where I have to go, though.
An enormous room packed with television screens.
I do. I really do.
What horrible
know where to
secret
go.
did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself.
I have to go to
Did he
the.
have the strength to
I have to
find
go
out?
to the doors that are blue and red. That's where I have to go. That's the first thing that pops in my head, anyway.
Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed.
Bro,
Each
sometimes
bore the number
I
of an
wish
employee in
this
the
guy
building.
would just shut
Stanley's
up. I
co-workers.
swear.
The lives of so many individuals
I wanna
reduced
hit him
to
upside the
images
head
on a screen.
so bad.
And Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
Please shut up. I don't want to hear your voice anymore.
This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all
Oh, I
this
guess we'll
time?
see. I'm
was
curious.
this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly? No. He refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it.
That's my new
His own
mission.
life in someone else's control? Never.
That's my new
It
mission.
was unthinkable, wasn't it?
I'm gonna
Was it
try
even
and
possible?
stop that
Had he
explosion.
truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world? But here was the proof, the heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions, happy or sad or content. Walking, eating, working, all of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machine... Oh, Stanley.
I feel like my
you
dog
didn't
is
just
gonna
activate
start
the
barking
controls,
anytime
did you?
now.
After they kept you
swear.
enslaved all these years, you go and you try to take control of the machine for yourself. Is that what you wanted? Control?
I'm ready.
Stanley, I applaud your effort, I really do. But you need to understand, there's only so much that machine can do.
I'm gonna
You
try.
were supposed to let it go, turn the controls off, and leave. If you want to throw my story off track, you're going to have to do much better than that. I'm afraid you don't have nearly the power you think you do. For example, and I believe you'll find this pertinent, Stanley suddenly realized he had just initiated the network's emergency detonation system. In the event that this machine is activated without proper DNA identification, nuclear detonators are said to explode, eliminating the entire complex. How long until detonation then? Let's say, 2 minutes. Ah, now this is making things a little more fun, isn't it, Stanley? It's your time to shine. You are the star. It's your story now. Shape it to your heart's desires. Oh, this is much better than what I had in mind. What a shame we have so little time left to enjoy it. Mere moments until the bomb goes off. But what precious moments each one of them is. More time to talk about you, about me, where we're going, what all this means. I barely know where to start. What's that? You'd like to know where your co-workers are? A moment of solace before you're obliterated. All right, I'm in a good mood. You're gonna die anyway. I'll tell you exactly what happened to them. I erased them. I turned off the machine. I set you free. Of course, that was merely in this instance of the story. Sometimes when I tell it, I simply let you sit there in your office forever, pushing buttons endlessly and then dying alone. Other times, I let the office sink into the ground, swallowing everyone inside, or I let it burn to a crisp. I have to say this, though, this version of events has been rather amusing. Watching you try to make sense of everything and take back the control wrested away from you, it's quite rich. I almost hate to see it go. But I'm sure whatever I come up with on the next go-around will be even better. My goodness, only 34 seconds left. But I'm enjoying this so much. You know what? To hell with it. I'm going to put some extra time on the clock, why not? These are precious additional seconds, Stanley. Time doesn't grow on trees. Oh dear me, what's the matter, Stanley? Is it that you have no idea where you're going or what you're supposed to be doing right now? Or did you just assume when you saw that timer that something in this room was capable of turning it off? I mean, look at you. Running from button to button, screen to screen, clicking on every little thing in this room. These numbered buttons, no, these colored ones. Or maybe this big red button, or this door. Everything, anything, something here will save me. Why would you think that, Stanley? That this video game can be beaten? Won? Solved? Do you have any idea what your purpose in this place is? But you really believe there's an answer? How many times will you replay this bit, looking desperately for a solution? 10? 100? 1,000? I look forward to finding out and to watching the bomb go off each time you fail. Just you and me and the retching explosion of fire and metal over and over and over for...
I could just do that. Well, I know I'm never going to be able to get past that, so oh well. Man, am I happy I got to go live tonight, though.
The meeting room. Yes, that's where everyone would be. Stanley just needed to get to the meeting room, and from then on, he would never be alone ever again.
Alright, guys. This is officially the outro talk. Hope you guys had a very nice time watching my live. And I hope that you guys
Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well.
Whether
perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
And
the lounge was grand, majestic,
video.
Perhaps, but eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
So, I will
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
Those of you who enjoyed, I hope that you guys
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the
subscribed,
wrong
liked,
foot here.
or anything.
I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize
Honestly,
that investing your trust
my
in
job,
someone else can be difficult, but
just
the
to
fact
give you guys
is that the
something to watch,
story has been about
something to
nothing
do.
but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. What? Really?
I'll talk when I get
was in
over
the
here.
middle of something. Do you have zero consideration for others? Are you that convinced that I want something bad to happen to you? Why, I don't know how to convince you of this, but I really do want to help you, to show you something beautiful. Look, let me prove it. Let me prove that I'm on your side.
And there it is. The last Stiggly Wiggly. Savor this moment, Stanley. This is a real accomplishment. This is doing something just for the sake of doing it. Where so many people expect to be rewarded for the most trivial achievements, you've insisted that a job well done is its own reward. I would tell you that I'm proud of you for collecting them all, but that would be like a reward, and we can't have that. So, instead I'll just say, it's done. We're all done here. And now we can go to whatever the hell you were doing before you hunted for figurines.
Well, this is hilarious. Love that. That's fantastic. So,
Now listen carefully, this is important.
no, I'm going back
Stanley
in my
walked
closet.
through the red
Leave me
door.
alone. Oh my, he actually left me alone. Oh, they didn't have a monologue for in here. They didn't have a monologue. Oh my goodness. I found out. I found it. They don't have a monologue for when you're in here. Oh, I beat the system. Anyway. Now it's time for me to talk because this is the end. I'm going to end the live. I hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you for watching. And I hope whoever came across this live watched the previous live. And if you haven't watched the previous live before this one, so you know what happened to get me all the way up to this point, because then you will be able to actually understand everything. It will be better. It will be better. But it is also a lot of time wasted, so you can do what I do, which is when I get bored of watching a video that someone posted, I'll just like keep going back to it. Like I'll keep like leaving it and then going back to it like a day later, and keep doing that cycle until I'm done watching the video. That's only if it's like a long video, like an hour or two. But I appreciate you guys. I ask that you guys would subscribe to me if you can. Leave a like. My job on here is just to give you guys something to watch, something to enjoy, have a laugh. That's all. That's all I want. So, you guys have a fantastic day after this. And I'm going to leave off with this funny moment.
Perhaps you misunderstood. Stanley walked through the red door. I still don't think we're communicating properly. Stanley walked through the red door.
I love that. Never gets old. Anyway, you guys have a great day. And I've had enough of this game. That's what I've done. I've had enough. And that's all. That's enough. That's enough for me. Oh man, you guys have a fantastic night. I'm going to go get the best sleep of my life. And I will be on. I'm going to get on the game tomorrow. I'm hoping that maybe I could go live or something tomorrow, but no guarantees. Bye bye.